All right, this Garma Festival this weekend, moving on to that, it's come against a backdrop of the government under pressure over the voice. Let me be blunt about it. How tough is it looking now, and why can't the PM say a Makarrata Commission and a treaty will follow the voice?
Well, I genuinely believe that the Yes campaign can and will win the referendum, Andrew. And that's because, based on my own experience, as I'm going around Queensland talking with people about the voice, there are a lot of people who are still unsure about it. But when you talk through what it's really about, some very simple ideas, recognising our First Peoples in our Constitution, listening to them so that we get better results and better value for money, that's something that I think most people can get behind. So I remain very confident that the referendum will succeed. I've seen the opinion polls. There's all sorts of polling out there at the moment, some more positive than others. But as I say, I think once people focus on what this is really about, rather than the unrelenting series of scare campaigns that we see from Peter Dutton and the opposition, I'm confident that we can get there. It obviously makes it harder that we don't have bipartisan support for this, and that is disappointing that the Liberal and National Party have chosen to oppose this for their own political purposes. I mean, we've got coalition members now openly talking with journalists about the fact that the reason they're opposing the voice is because they want to damage the Prime Minister and damage the Labor Party for the next election. So they're prepared to throw away the opportunity to actually bring the country together, to actually listen to people, to get better results and better value for money for their own political purposes. But we're going to stay positive about this. We're going to remind people that this is a real opportunity for once to do something different about Indigenous disadvantage. And frankly, if we say no to this, then what we're basically saying is that we're happy with more of the same, that we're happy with much higher rates of Indigenous incarceration, much lower life expectancy. What the voice is about is simply recognising our First Peoples and getting better results. And it's hard to imagine why anyone would actually disagree with that.
But the government is... They do want to support a Makarrata Commission and treaty, don't they? Because Anthony Albanese got up on election night, he said, I commit to the Uluru Statement from the heart and full, and you've already put funding in the budget for the Makarrata Commission. So do you concede the government would see those as the next steps? And what would they do? Would they involve reparations?
Well, the Uluru Statement itself said that the voice to Parliament and recognition of First Peoples in our Constitution would come before any other aspect of the Uluru Statement. And that's for that reason that the government's priority is to recognise people in our Constitution and through a voice to Parliament. That's what we're focused on, and that's the only thing that this referendum is about. Now, you've raised reparations, and that is one of many scare campaigns that's being run by the opposition. Every single week they have a new scare campaign about what the voice will do. I'm expecting next week the voice is apparently going to cancel Christmas or something absurd like that.
All right.
They just move from one scare campaign to the next.
Fair enough, but are you ruling out reparations? Or is that something that can happen from a Makarrata Commission and a treaty?
Well, this issue of reparations is something that Peter Dutton raised as for a reason why he voted against and didn't support the apology all those years ago. If you go back and look at what Peter Dutton was saying about the apology when he chose not to vote in favour of the apology and not to be present for the apology in the chamber, one of the things that he was saying was that it would open the door to damages. That was untrue. And it's untrue that this will occur as a result of the voice. And again, it's just one of the many scare campaigns that we see from the opposition, rather than actually facing up to what this is about, simply setting up a body to advise the government about how we can get better results for Indigenous people. That's all that we're talking about
all
here.
Right.
We're not talking about reparations. We're not talking about all sorts of other scare campaigns that are being put up there. And the opposition say that they support recognition in the Constitution. They say they support listening to people, but they continue to put up these scare campaigns to shoot it down.